You get Beverly Hills Cop 3, you have Murphy, you have his third job with Landis, who I don't know why he was directing movies because of the Twilight Zone, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it doesn't have a life to it. But what I do like about Beverly Hills Cop 3 is it has Ellis DeWald, who is one of the most punchable villains.
He's
I
an
have
amazing scumbag. Agreed.
I mean I hate him. I mean
Agreed.
there
Agreed.
there's like random dance numbers. There's the oddest carousel Funland bit that has
There was no
nothing to do
reason
with the
for it.
plot. In Beverly Hills
Nothing.
Cop, everything is the plot. Everything is
Yes.
plot driven. In Beverly Hills
Yes.
Cop 3, it's so lackadaisical. It's so
Physical's the word.
yeah, it's just so sludge esque in its
You can
pacing.
tell that. Yeah, you can tell that they had these ideas, and then they decided to put Axel Foley in the movie afterwards. That's what happened. That's what happened.
The
And there are
best bit
still.
is the
Go ahead,
commercial for
yeah.
the weapon, Norbert. The commercial for the
Yes.
Annihilator. That's hilarious. And then when he shoots out the net I mean, that
They
I'll
tied
forgive
that
that the
together.
bench blocked 7,000 bullets.
I will not. I will not. That bench was supposed to be shredded. The one dude's got a MPK, MP5, whatever, just grrrrah, and the other dude's got a semi-auto. And you can see Axel's entire leg underneath the bench. And he just does. It was, dude, beyond plot. Anyway, look, I'm drinking scotch. Continue.
You know what drives these movies that also I love too is this was 84. And I know a lot of
Right.
people have talked about this scene, and Martin Brest talked about it on the commentary. But when you get the scene with Mikey and Axel, he's like, I love you, man. Like
I wanted
they're
to,
friends. Like
I
they're
wanted to talk.
like
Absolutely.
and then when at the end of it, Eddie Murphy says, "I love you guys," and then in
Yeah.
the second one, he's like, "All for one, one for all." He said,
Yeah.
I am here for you. We are a team. We are best friends." The third one, I mean, even though it gets him to Beverly Hills again, he's still loyal to his family. Like the daughters
Exactly.
of those people know him. And
Exactly.
by the third film, what I love too is that like Reinhold is legit ride or die with Axel.
Yes.
Like Reinhold dives into fights, and he's a big
Yes.
dude, and he's leveling people because you
Yeah.
don't
Yes.
mess with his best friend Axel Foley. So
Not
there's
at
this
all. Not at all.
there's this neat strain of like what male friendship in this that is very rare. I mean, you watch Bad Boys and they just yell at each other the whole time. They're just mean
The
to each other.
whole time.
And
Yes.
you watch this one and you're like, these guys like each other. Like they've grown to like each other. Like they started off rough, like
Yes.
Taggart was not, he was gut punching in the beginning.
Let me tell
But
you something. Taggart gives the solid body blow.
yeah,
In
and
the-
he said that, didn't he?
It was a solid body blow. Absolutely. Nice punch, Taggart. Yeah.
He looks like a guy who could hit you in the stomach hard.
Oh,
Taggart.
Taggart's not playing games, man. He's got that hair that's gone. In Beverly Hills Cop 2, they just decide that he's Gerald Ford, and the whole strip club believes it.
Oh,
That's the
yeah.
whole bit. This is why I listen. Beverly Hills Cop 2 is copy pasta of Beverly Hills Cop 1, no doubt. But it's solid. It's fine. It is what it is.
It is
Continue.
so Tony Scott, right?
Friendship. Yes. The editing is crazy. There's a lot of fast-moving things. There's no way that two guys should be able to hold off a literal warehouse full of thugs. But hey, Tony Scott, baby.
A lot
Rest
of
in
smoke.
peace. A lot of smoke. And dubs.
Yeah. And so you want to talk about the friendship thing, right? I just think that, like, I don't know, movies like this don't really exist, or lines like this don't really exist. And during the press screenings, I guess there was one more "I love you" in that scene, but audiences were it was 84, so everyone
Yeah,
laughed at it, like they got uncomfortable. Because they're like,
Right.
"Oh, Axel Foley, like he's not like
Right.
that. Like Eddie Murphy's not like that." So it's like people were uncomfortable. They had to take out one "I love you" in that.
Right.
But it's still like you watch that movie and it's so rare, man. Like it's not. No movies did that. You watch Hobbs and Shaw. We're just both tough men. We don't work together. Like,
Exactly.
That would be miserable, Norbert. I would be miserable if you were Statham and I was Johnson, and that's the way we fought all the time. I would quit.
Oh, totally. Totally. Imagine if we were at the CDI and it was, my student scored 81 on the test. Oh, really? I'm Hoffmeyer's.
Yeah.
My student scored 82. We have a grudging respect and excellent cheekbones. Rage. That's a lot, man. That's
Yeah.
a lot. It's a lot. Listen, the credit, what you say about Marty Brest with his direction of this movie, okay? There is an economy of time here. This movie is an hour and 45 minutes, and it's breezy, man. He establishes before 20 minutes have gone by, okay? Axel's a good cop. He's a little bit crazy. You could tell he used to kind of be grimy, right? And so when you meet his friend, who comes out of the blue after 6 months of being in the joint, visit him for the first time with a handful of clearly illegal bearer bonds, Axel's like, yeah, I'm a cop, but you know what? This is my man, 50 grand. They get along so well.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell that they have been friends forever.
Yep.
Forever. And then when he drops the line, you know, why didn't you ever snitch on me? Because I love you. You get that. That hits.
Yep.
That hits. And right there, boom, that beat. Axel Foley, loyalty. Mwah.
Yep.
That's everything to him. Everything. Chef's kiss, man. Loyalty. Axel Foley, if you hold him down, if you ride for him, he's going to ride for you.
Yeah, all for one and one for all. He comes out in Beverly Hills Cop 2. And it feels organic, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Getting him back in that movie is, like, that's a pretty good screenwriting lesson on how to bring somebody back to Beverly Hills. But
absolutely.
That's good screenwriting, because as soon as so I have all these underlined, but he's like, yeah, all for one and one for all. I was like, wow. Like, he looks at these guys like they're the Musketeers, like they're made. It's just, yeah, in the first two, he's like one of the most likable characters you could imagine. Totally. I love it. And I do love that. And I think this also kicked off a nice, like, okay, action comedies had been around before, but I think this kicked off. But you know what's interesting? Like, you get Rush Hour and you get, East meets West, and then but they still kind of like each other, don't they? Like, is that?
Yeah. The thing is, though, with Rush Hour is trying to push, the fish out of water angle, and then there's the weird kind of underlying, oh, we don't understand it when Asian people do things, LOL. And it's like, yeah. Really? And Chris Tucker, this is very loud, black guy, I'm doing it. Oh, I'll tell you this. I may have seen Rush Hour 1, but I don't think I've ever seen the other two. Because I could not. And I love Jackie Chan.
I guess that's an odd comparison, but then you get like Tango and Cash, who are just two awesome guys fighting. Right. I just love that he shows up. He kind of has to deal with these guys. They're like, who's this guy that showed up and he's mucking about? But then they begin to like each other. But there's no. It feels much more organic.
There's a definite buddy cop vibe to this movie. And like you said, because Eddie Murphy is not just trying to steal the scene all the time, he gives room for other people to breathe and let themselves in. This is absolutely a buddy cop picture, but it's unique in that, it's not just one good cop, one bad cop. This time it's personal, It's Eddie Murphy doing the fish out of water thing, and Rosewood and Taggart. One guy's the hippie, the other one's the grizzled veteran.
Who eats red
Somehow
meat.
They make a triad, He's got 5 pounds of undigested red meat, by the time he's 50, because, you need to stop drinking so much coffee, Taggart. And you look like Gerald Ford. It's a brilliant triad instead of a duo buddy cop movie, And then, like you mentioned before, Ronnie Cox, who up until this point for us anyway, he had been kind of in the background. This, for our generation anyway, we know Ronnie Cox as, Cohagen, Milos Cohagen, He's, the old man at OCP. He's playing the worst sociopath. Yes. He's playing actually, Deep Blue Sea, he was a nice old man. And I always thought that he kind of had Alzheimer's. I thought that they were like doing the shark thing for him because he looked like he wasn't all there.
Oh.
But he plays such a fatherly role in Beverly Hills Cop 2. He's such a good guy in this. And then another RoboCop tie, did you know? The manager at the hotel that Axel is in, that's the guy that offers the mayor a Blaupunkt in RoboCop. That's the guy.
Nice.
That's totally him. It's like, hey, you don't kill the mayor, we'll throw in a Blaupunkt. That's him. Just random.
It's just, I love what you're saying too. Is like the three of them formed just. It's like
it's triumvirate.
Yeah.
It's a buddy cop that has never been done before or since.
And
It's the three of them.
when they're in the strip club listening to Nasty Girl, and those like, probably the least subtle armed robbers walk in to rob the joint. I like that Axel knows to look to Taggart. And he's like, "Hey, Taggart, you get over there." Like he knows the two cops. But I like that Reinhold's not mad about it. Like Reinhold, oh god, like he's like, "Oh, I get it. It's Taggart." It's I don't know. It's, you know what's interesting is you look at this movie, and I love the words you use, like the economy of the filmmaking, and you just wonder why. Like you kind of think to yourself, why doesn't this happen more? Because this isn't like, I guess you just got to learn with filmmaking that easy. If it looks easy on screen, it's really hard to do.
Right.
Otherwise, there would be more. Because
Totally.
energy in movies, I think sometimes it's very rare, and I think it happens in like low budget horror, where they're just running and gunning, and then it happens in movies that, you know, you just gotta go. You gotta go, 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 go. You gotta move. And you have the energy of a Murphy who's lighting everybody up. There's like a window for certain movies like this to happen. And I think this is one of those movies. Because if you could recreate the formula, Norbert, like everyone would do it. But
this is the thing. I mean, they tried to recreate the formula in the sequel. It's basically the same damn movie. And it's not as good. It's really, you know.
How long does it take to shave those legs?
I'm just offering you my grooming services. I don't think so. Blah, 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 blah. Listen, Eddie, look. Beverly Hills Cop 2, not a bad movie, just not as good as part 1, okay? Mm-hmm. That's the first point. The second point is economy. Again, I point towards economy. There's a ton of exposition in this movie. Victor Maitland is one of the greatest art dealers in California.
Yes.
You know, that stuff just comes out, but it doesn't sound like they've stopped the movie and explained who people are. You know, it's natural conversation. This absolutely deserved an Oscar nom for screenplay because the writing is solid beyond just Eddie Murphy's freestyling. You know,
I love that you talked about the expository dialogue because in the commentary, Martin Brest just kept laughing about it. He's like, did you hear that sentence?
There's a lot of people explaining what's going on. Actually, this is the place where the packages come before it gets cleared. Yes. Customs. You know what I'm saying?
He said that in the commentary. He's like, well, now I know what that is.
Exactly. But you know what? It washes over you. Yeah. It never feels like somebody is telling you the movie. And this is why I've always hated, for example, Inception. Because there are so many people who always slap you in the face. Norbert, this movie's smart. This movie's intelligent. Dude, the entire point of Joseph Gordon-Levitt in that movie is to explain what's happening to you.
Yeah.
That's all he does. He has, what are his character, name his 3 character traits.
He wears a vest.
You know what I'm saying?
He fights in the hallway. And Tom Hardy has his best line opposite him while wearing a cardigan. He's like, think big, don't be afraid to think big, darling, or something like that. That's all I know about Gordon-Levitt.
Gordon-Levitt in that movie is exposition with a pulse.
And
I hate that movie. I hate that movie with a passion. Because it's not as... Look, Nolan's made a lot of smart films. I'm sorry to digress, but I got to get that off my chest. I hate Inception, man. Okay?
Can I vent to you about something?
Go for it.
Someone was talking about, they're like, if you understand Tenet, then you're stupid smart. Like, you're dumb smart. And I was thinking to myself, I watched that movie. We knew about the sound issues beforehand. You know, I just went and bought the Blu-ray because I knew it'd be like awesome. So we watched it. I just listened. And I heard the dialogue.
Yeah.
And it's about... Yeah. I don't want to spoil it, but it's just about 2 groups from the future trying to go back to the past to prevent something from happening. Like, on both sides. So it's not
that's
hard.
Future. No, it's not.
Like there's pincer moments, but the people in the past have the gas masks. Like I just think some people got this in their mind. Like, oh, I can't hear it.
Hard. Exactly. And it's
But I just think calling people who understand Tenet, which isn't really hard to understand the core concept of it, stupid, smart, stupid. You're kind of, it's you know what's interesting about Nolan is just the divisiveness of his movies. I mean, Dark Knight and all these films. Like, I kind of enjoy it as far as like filmmaking, discourse and conversations, but I don't know, man. I like Tenet. I